Chosen one, please stop what you're doing and listen closely. I don't say this lightly. Hidden forces have conspired against your destiny. But tonight the veil is lifting. You've carried doubts about your purpose, felt a sting of resistance when you tried to step forward, and wondered if your past pain was punishment rather than preparation. You are not alone in this battle. Countless others have stood where you stand now, bracing against familiar storms as an unseen call tugged at their spirit. The urgencies you dismiss as restlessness are actually divine alarms, signaling that everything you endure was forging the final link in your chain of breakthrough. In this video, you will uncover the truth behind your pain, the signs confirming your awakening, and the pivotal surrender that unlocks your destiny. If this message already speaks to your soul, subscribe, like this video, and comment 77 below. Stay attentive, because what you're about to hear will challenge every assumption you've held and prepare you for the glorious step ahead, the final step before breakthrough. They stumble through their days weighed down by tasks that feel endless, hearts beating a frantic tattoo against the pressure of proving themselves. There's a nagging voice whispering that faith alone won't be enough, that they must scramble harder, strategize better, perform stronger. But tonight, your own heart's weariness speaks volumes. This is not fatigue from lack of will, but the soul's gasp for a deeper truth. You are not alone in this tension. Millions have poured themselves into prayers that felt like echoes against stone, wrestled with plans that scattered like sand through anxious fingers. Yet buried beneath tireless striving lies an invitation shimmering with grace, an invitation to the final step before breakthrough. In this sacred pause, hope and peace converge, promising that what you've labored for in desperation is about to manifest in divine timing. Have you ever lain awake, heat of frustration turning damp your sheets, as visions of your dreams flicker and fade each time you reach for them? You know the sting of watching effort after effort collapse, praying with fervor only to be met by silence. Perhaps you felt ashamed of wondering if maybe you were never chosen at all, that your spiritual assignment was a mirage crafted by longing hearts. Or recall the moment when, after months of seeking signs and directions, you realized you were chasing your own tail, tangled in tactics rather than leaning into trust. That was your spirit signal. The struggle was never about doing more, but about surrendering deeper. This crossroads of confusion and clarity has brought you here, at the brink of transformation, where the greatest act of faith awaits. Then, in a quiet recoil of your soul, you discovered a verse you'd overlooked. The Lord has taken away your punishment. He has cleared away your enemy. The Lord, the King of Israel, is in your midst. You should never again fear evil. Zephaniah 3 verse 15. This promise did not land amidst fanfare, but within a still whisper, as if heaven itself leaned close to share the final secret. You realize that punishment, resistance, and fear were removed by intent, not by your effort, and that the divine King who resides in your spirit beckoned you to yield every plan and every fear into his hands. That realization was a turning point. Surrender was never retreat, but the launch pad for ascent, where striving ends and soaring begins. Almost imperceptibly at first, you sense the air around you shift. Decisions you had agonized over crystallized in a moment of quiet certainty. Conversations that once left you tongue-tied now flowed with confidence you didn't manufacture. Opportunities you chased suddenly found their way to you, as though guided by unseen currents. These are not coincidences, but the unmistakable footprints of divine alignment, like the turning of seasons, unseen in their preparation, yet undeniable in their arrival. Your life began to align with a grander design. The world around you, once a battlefield of obstacles, became the stage for a breakthrough choreographed by sovereign love. Underneath these visible shifts, a celestial choreography unfolds. Picture an ancient scroll sealed with divine authority being unrolled in secret realms, each decree unlocking the next vein of blessing in your life. Every struggle you survived was like a coded dream, each disappointment a celestial map pointing to treasures you have yet to claim. This is not abstract mystical rhetoric, but the living truth of faith made real, where prayer and trust act as twin keys that release heavenly resources into your waiting hands. The heavens, long poised to move at your surrender, now cascade blessings you could never force, celebrating your willingness to relinquish control and embrace divine care. As dawn breaks on this new reality, You stand before a spiritual mirror, invited to speak a single word that seals your destiny. Yes. Yes to letting go of fear and trading it for faith. Yes to relinquishing your strategies and embracing divine wisdom. Yes to stepping into a narrative authored by love rather than penned by your own striving. Many resist at this point, clinging to the familiar grind of effort because fear of the unknown feels safer than the vulnerability of surrender. Yet true alignment demands that you say yes out loud to your becoming, hearing your own voice echoing back, confirming that this moment is a hinge of your history. Now, armed with the clarity of divine invitation, step into your highest reality. Release the weary weight of formulas and facades. Embrace practices that honor the new posture of trust. Moment of silent communion instead of frantic planning. Declarations of faith instead of self-reliant pledges. And communal celebrations of yielded hearts rather than lone efforts to be enough. Surround yourself with witnesses who have walked this path, their stories of breakthrough fueling your own courage. This is a roadmap for your journey forward. One foot in heaven's economy of grace, the other in the rich soil of surrendered purpose. Tonight, as you breathe deeply into the peace that surpasses understanding, remember this. Your final step of surrender is not the end, but the new beginning of all you have longed for. Comment surrender if this truth resonates deep in your bones. Let the night witness your vow to let go and let God. For in that sacred exchange, the doors of heaven swing wide and your breakthrough, long promised, divinely ordained, rushes in like dawn's first light. And if you feel called to go even deeper, there's a sacred space reserved for our community. A private room where you receive full prophetic messages daily. Join our private membership through the link in the description and walk this path with us. Divine identity and awakening. They watch you bend beneath expectations. Told you must be this, must stay there, must never reach beyond the labels stamped on your file. You felt the ache of being more, the quiet rebellion in your soul when routine tasks dulled your spark. In the stillness of dawn, your heart whispered of a destiny they could not fathom, a purpose too vast for ordinary words. You've wondered if this restlessness was a fault or a gift. Today, you will see that it was neither mistake nor accident, but the first echo of your true name calling across the ages. As you step into this understanding, you realize you are not alone. Countless souls have felt this tremor before you, hidden beneath the weight of daily life, long-forgotten origins stir, and the veil between your past and future lifts. You stand at the threshold of remembrance, where ancient truths begin to catch fire in your veins. Have you ever paused mid-conversation, caught off guard by a memory that felt too vivid, like you'd lived it before? That jarring sensation is the world reminding you of your greater chapter. You face doors that slam closed just as you reach for the handle, friends who turned away when you spoke of dreams, roles that patted your ego with safety but starved your spirit of meaning. In those moments, confusion settled like a fog, and you asked, "Why do I feel so out of place?" You carried the weight of rejection as if it defined you, and secretly blamed yourself for outgrowing environments meant to contain you. Yet those very struggles were signposts, guiding you toward an identity that transcends every expectation and diagnosis, every label they try to pin on your soul. Your stepping stones weren't random stones at all, but milestones of divine blueprint. In Judges 13, verse 5, a voice proclaims over Samson before his birth, "For behold, you shall conceive and bear a son. No razor shall come upon his head, for the child shall be a Nazirite to God from the womb." This is not just an ancient tale of a mighty hero. It is a mirror for your life's design. Every season of exile, every feeling of being set apart, has been preparation for a calling too immense to grasp at first glance. That obscure promise whispered over Samson echoes now in your blood, weaving a pathway through hardship to destiny. The very trials you thought were punishment reveal themselves as sacred trials, forging strengths you never knew you possessed. Even now, subtle shifts ripple through your life, some so gentle you almost miss them. You catch yourself pausing at the sight of a fragile spiderweb, struck by how every thread reflects light, as if reminding you that even the smallest efforts can illuminate an entire space. Perhaps you've noticed an unexpected clarity in your dreams, where cryptic symbols unravel truths you've carried in your bones. Synchronicities appear like winks from the universe, numbers repeating on clocks, a song lyric that perfectly names your yearning, a stranger offering guidance in a chance encounter. These are the fingerprints of transformation, urging you to recognize the signs others dismiss as coincidence. They confirm that divine timing is at work, aligning your heart's frequency with the unfolding of a plan written long before you walk this earth. Behind the scenes, cosmic forces are clearing rubble from your path. Imagine celestial cartographers mapping your journey on a grand scroll, erasing barriers and redrawing lines that guide you toward your purpose. Your setbacks were never meant to break you, but to carve out space for higher power to move freely in your story. Synchronicities become stepping stones. Coded dreams whisper secret coordinates, and old prayers rise up in unexpected moments to unlock doors you thought forever sealed. This is divine intervention in motion, a sacred choreography between faith and manifestation. Your every heartbeat resonates with an invitation to align with the currents that carry you toward greatness ordained since before time began. Yet, knowing these truths is not enough. You must choose to say yes to your own emergence. Many shy away when the mirror reflects a version of themselves too luminous to ignore, fearing the shadows they'll leave behind. True alignment demands more than recognition. It requires full embodiment. Stand before that spiritual mirror and speak your affirmation aloud. I am who I was always meant to be. Let the words roll off your tongue like a vow, sealing your commitment to the path that calls. In that moment, fear trembles on the brink of surrender, and you step into the sacred now, where resistance dissolves and the soul expands into promise of its becoming. Now, feel the surge of strength coursing through you as you release doubt like an old skin you no longer inhabit. This is your overture to purpose, the first note of a song only you can sing. Embrace your calling by weaving small acts of courage into daily life. Share your vision with someone who matters. Carve out silent moments to listen to your inner guidance, or declare your truth through a simple creative act. Each choice affirms that you belong to a lineage of awakened souls who dare to rise. Fear may still murmur, but your resolve roars louder, echoing in every corner of your world. Step forward with confidence, knowing that with each stride you carve a path for others to follow. Your divine identity is not a distant crown, but a living flame within your chest, ready to burn away all that limits you. They try to box you in, but now you break free to stand fully seen in your worth. Remember this day as the moment you reclaimed your birthright. Hold it close as you journey on, carrying the map of ancient promises in your heart. Common identity, if this resonates with you. The next chapter unfolds as your gifts shine brighter than you ever dared imagine. Stay with me, for the signs you seek are about to blaze into view. And to every soul who supported with a super thanks, thank you. You are keeping this light alive for others who haven't found it yet. If you feel called to help this mission reach more chosen ones, tap the super thanks button below. Your energy supports these messages and helps them travel further. Your voice matters, your belief matters, and your light is felt here. Signs of spiritual transformation. Have you ever woken in the pre-dawn stillness, your mind racing with questions you can't voice, as if your soul is trying to speak through the hush? In those moments, you feel the tension between the life you lead and the life you sense stirring beneath the surface. You wrestle with thoughts that won't stay buried, echoes of greater truths that pulse in your veins each time your chest tightens with longing. It can feel isolating, as though you're the only one sensing a quiet revolution inside. Yet you are far from alone. In the next minutes, you'll discover that these restless stirrings, these silent urgings, are the first flickers of a grand awakening, pointing you toward a hidden realm where your true self waits to be claimed. Imagine standing at the edge of a familiar shore, the waves lapping at your feet while storms rage just beyond the horizon. You felt that pull, haven't you? The tug between safety and the call to venture into uncharted waters. You've known nights when tears fell without warning, each drop carrying the weight of questions about your worth, your purpose, your place in this vast tapestry. You replayed conversations where your deepest yearnings were met with polite nods or awkward silence, turning you inward with a whisper of shame. These moments of dissonance, the sting of rejection, the ache of uncertainty, have felt like proof that you were missing something vital, as if your spirit carried a map you couldn't yet read. Then something shifts. What you once saw as failure begins to reveal itself as preparation. In the lesser-known scroll of Zephaniah you read, The Lord your God in your midst, the mighty one, will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you by his love. Zephaniah 3 verse 17. Note how quiet precedes joy, how love calms before it celebrates. Your struggles aren't punishment, but the hush before jubilation, shaping you in secret places, so that when your time comes, you will stand steady. This turning point is not a distant promise, but a living pulse beneath your ribs, urging you to loosen your grip on control and trust the silent work being done. Now, take a moment to look for the subtle signs weaving through your days. Perhaps you felt an unusual calm wash over you in the midst of chaos, a gentle hush that steadies your breath. Or maybe dreams have begun to arrive with startling clarity. Images that once floated by like wisps now come with vivid detail and purpose. You might notice old conflicts resolving themselves, relationships mending in ways that defy explanation, as if unseen peacemakers are at work. The hesitation that once held you back is thinning, revealing a path that shimmers just beyond your ordinary sight. These are not coincidences, but markers on a road of transformation, guiding your steps with a precision you can neither force nor fully predict. Behind these signs, higher forces move with intentional care. Picture a divine architect drafting celestial blueprints, erasing obstacles and redrawing routes to your destiny. Your past trials with a chisel sculpting your spirit. Each hardship removed to make space for something greater. Wherever you felt doors slam, imagine hands opening secret passageways you didn't even know existed. Unexpected impulses, sudden insights, and chance meetings ring like coded messages from a realm that defies human logic. Your faith becomes a lens through which these miracles surface, testifying that belief is not passive, but the very fuel that brings the unseen into view. At this crossroads, the universe extends an invitation. Will you fully inhabit this new reality? Many recoil when they glimpse a reflection of themselves too brilliant to ignore, afraid to step away from familiar shadows. Yet true awakening demands more than observation. It calls for a wholehearted embrace. Stand before your inner mirror and speak the promise you feel swelling inside. I accept the transformation I was born to live. In that whispered confession, the final veil lifts. Fear no longer whispers from behind. Instead, courage stands in the foreground, ready to guide your every choice. Now the path widens before you, inviting bold strides. Release lingering doubt, like a cloak you've outgrown, and claim the authority that pulses in your bones. Begin by honoring small prompts. Share a long-held truth with a trusted friend. Carve out moments each day to listen for guidance, or give voice to a silent dream through art, writing, or song. These acts, though modest, resonate like peals of strength across the fabric of your reality, igniting courage in hearts that have grown weary. You are the harbinger of a new dawn, each step you take clearing the way for others to follow. Remember this moment as a turning point where you cross from waiting into becoming. Your heart has already registered the shift. Your life now bends toward a destiny that was sung over you before your first breath. Comment signs if these transformations are stirring in your spirit. The lights ahead grow brighter still. Stay tuned to witness how your rising presence sets the world ablaze with hope, global purpose, and visibility. Have you ever sensed a quiet nudge beneath your ribs, a whisper that you were never meant to live small or unseen? In the hush of your daily routine, between the coffee sips and scrolling thumbs, you feel an undercurrent of longing, a restless pulse that reminds you of something vast calling your name. You're tired of hiding in shadows, tired of hearing that humility means staying in the background. You wonder if this tug is real or just another fleeting fantasy. Take heart. You are not alone in this tension. In the coming moments, you'll discover that those stirrings are echoes of an ancient summons, beckoning you beyond the edges of what you thought possible. As truth awakens, you'll grasp why your visibility matters not for vanity, but for the breakthrough it sparks across souls and nations. Picture the countless times you silence your own voice, softening your words so as not to rock the boat, dimming your passion to fit polite company, hiding your convictions for fear judgment. You felt a sting when your bold ideas were met with polite nods or awkward smiles, when friends whispered, "You're too intense," as if your fire were a flaw. You wrestle with purpose, asking yourself, why do my dreams feel so vast while my life remains so confined? That inner conflict left you feeling fractured, torn between the comfort of conformity and the ache to stand tall in your truth. It was lonely work, carrying a torch that seemed to sear more than warm. Yet each moment of oppression became the coal nurturing your flame, preparing you for a blaze that can't be contained. Then comes a turning point, when exhaustion from hiding morphs into courage to step forward. In the book of Obadiah, seldom quoted yet rich in promise, you read, "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, but the house of Esau shall be stubble." Obadiah 1 verse 18. Notice how fire distinguishes itself from mere stubble, how purpose transforms dormant material into radiant energy. That verse whispers to you that your life is meant to burn bright, not smolder in safe embers. Your past trials, the eclipsed dreams, the whispered doubts, with a tinder beneath you, crafting you into a conduit for divine light. This moment is your ignition, where preparation meets purpose in a brilliant flare. Signs of this transformation are unfolding even now, though they may slip past unnoticed by those around you. You felt doors unexpectedly swing open, an invitation to speak, a platform extended when you least expected it, a mentor arriving at just the right moment. Social media engagement or personal conversations that once felt like echoes in an empty hall now echo with applause and affirmation. In quiet hours, you sense a strengthening in your chest, as though your heart is learning to carry greater capacity. Synchronicities shimmer on the horizon. Messages and songs, timely quotes, and chance meetings with strangers who echo your vision. These are the breadcrumbs of divine timing, guiding you toward visibility not for self-glory, but for breakthrough of all who watch. Invisible forces are orchestrating the stage behind the curtain, aligning circumstances with uncanny precision. Imagine a grand celestial map unfurling above you, each star marked with a moment destined for you to shine. Where you once saw obstacles, unseen hands now clear the path. Airports open for speaking tours. Publishers respond to your inquiries, and invitations arrive that fit like keys and locks. You are not merely lucky, you are chosen. The coded dreams you've had, the soaring flight, the blossoming flower, the roaring crowd, were cartographic glimpses into this divine choreography. Faith is the currency that activates these miracles, bringing the unseen into tangible reality. But transformation only becomes true when you move from observer to participant. Many shrink back when the spotlight reveals their imperfections as well as their strengths, fearful that full exposure means full vulnerability. Yet the world needs raw authenticity more than polished perfection. Stand before the mirror of your soul and say, "I am called to this stage." Feel the tremor of hesitance, then roar, "I accept," in a voice that shakes loose every chain of self-doubt. In that sacred moment, the veil lifts and your emergence becomes unstoppable. You shift from waiting in the wings to commanding the center, ready to bear the light for others seeking warmth. Now is the time to claim your platform with intentional steps. Start by sharing a piece of your truth in a public space, a post, a speech, a simple video. Let your story break the silence for someone who thought they were alone. Invite feedback, engage with your growing audience, and steward every response as a sacred burden and gift. Deepen your spiritual practice by seeking guidance on how best to wield this rising influence through prayer, meditation, or counsel from kindred souls. Embrace this calling as a living thing, one that grows stronger when nurtured. Your visibility is not a crown for you alone, but a beacon for weary travelers seeking direction. This journey of global purpose and visibility isn't just about numbers or applause, though both may come. It's about the ripple effect your courage creates. Every story you share, every truth you speak, carries the potential to ignite revival in hidden hearts. Remember, even the smallest flame can dispel the deepest darkness. Comment visibility if you're ready to walk boldly into your influence. Your time has arrived, and the world awaits the radiance only you can release. Stand in this light and watch as your presence transforms not just your life, but the lives of countless others. Have you ever sensed a moment when all the threads of your life, every heartbreak, every triumph, every whispered prayer, pulled taut at once, as if poised to reveal a hidden pattern? Right now, you may be wrestling with doubts that sting sharper than any blade, wondering if the path you tread is real or merely the illusion of your own yearning. Yet even in your darkest doubts, there are echoes of a sacred call resonating to the corridors of your soul, urging you to stand at the threshold of your greatest chapter. You are not alone in this awakening. Others have stood where you stand, gazing into the unknown with trembling faith. In the next moments, you will see how every trial has led you here and how this convergence is a launch pad for a destiny that shifts the tides of spirit and flesh. Imagine the weight you carried, the months when every plan disintegrated at a touch, the times you felt invisible despite desperate cries for recognition. Picture a frozen lake under moonlight, its surface smooth but treacherous, symbolizing the doubts that mask the depth beneath. Perhaps you've paused in a crowded room, overwhelmed by loneliness, believing that no one truly sees a burden you cradle within. These experiences are more than happenstance. They are the crucible shaping you for this very moment. The pain that cut you in two was never meant to define you. It was sculpted to awaken a power dormant in your bones. When rejection came, it carved a space large enough for revelation to enter. Then, as if an answer to a silent plea, a shift occurred, subtle yet irrevocable. In the scarcely referenced prophecy of Zephaniah 3 verse 17, we learn, "The Lord your God is in your midst, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness," reminding you that divine joy often arrives amid your trials. It is here that the turning point crystallizes. Your suffering was never random punishment, but intentional preparation. Like a blacksmith forging steel, each moment of resistance strengthened the core of your spirit, tempering resolve with heavenly fire. In that process, you are not broken but reborn, emerging with a refined faith capable of bearing the weight of your calling. With this awakening come unmistakable signs that transformation is weaving through your days. Dawn seems to carry more color, as if the horizon itself rejoices with you. Old habits that once ruled your hours now fall away, replaced by an irresistible pull toward purpose. You notice that when you speak of your vision, eyes light up with recognition, as though souls around you sense the gravity of your mission. Responsibilities you once shouldered with dread now spark exhilaration, as if each task is a step on a path preordained by cosmic design. These shifts are not mere mood swings, but markers of spiritual evolution, charting your journey from confusion into clarity with divine precision. Behind this metamorphosis, unseen forces labor relentlessly to align your reality with your destiny. Every setback that felt like punishment was actually the removal of a barrier orchestrated by divine architects. Consider a vast celestial atlas inscribed with your name, its routes traced by guardian spirits who adjust every detail to ensure your ascent. Opportunities that once arrived by chance now appear with laser accuracy, guiding you toward allies, resources, and revelations essential to your mission. Each breath of serendipity, each whisper of intuition, is part of a sacred choreography, a dance between faith and manifestation that turns prayer into palpable progress. As the transformation becomes undeniable, you face a pivotal crossroads, to truly step into your new identity or retreat into the comfort of old fears. Many shrink from this passage, unable to bear the brilliance of their own becoming. Yet true empowerment demands that you not only observe the signs, but embrace them with your whole heart. Picture yourself standing before a mirror of polished obsidian, where your reflection merges with the image of the person you are becoming. In that gaze, say yes to the life etched into your soul before time began. This act of self-affirmation is no mere affirmation. It is a covenant with the divine presence that has journeyed with you through every trial. Now, with the path illuminated and the invitation extended, rise to claim your empowerment. Release the chains of doubt and let courage animate your steps. Begin each day with a sacred declaration of your purpose, anchoring your identity in the promises that no force can erase. Seek out communities that resonate with your vision, uniting your voice with others called to similar heights. Deepen your spiritual practices, whether through intentional silence, scriptural reflection, or acts of service, so that your faith becomes the fertile soil from which your destiny blooms. Trust the subtle urgings that guide you, for they are the compass points of a life led by spirit and not by sight. You are not here by accident. Your final step unlocks a new dimension. Subscribe if you haven't yet, like this video, and comment, "I am chosen," to let this message anchor in your soul. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. Thank you to all supporting members for standing firm in this wave of awakening. 4 full prophetic revelations daily. Join the membership via the link in the description. Your spiritual path deserves more than fragments. Step into the full light And if this message moved you deeply, consider tapping the Super Thanks button to support the mission. Every Super Thanks fuels the light we're spreading together. Remember, the final activation is here. Rise up, Chosen One, and let heaven's purpose unfold through you.